Yeah, let's go live, and I can check us as we go in the first couple minutes here.
Currently,
Yeah, are we live yet?
I hit stream. It says streaming.
Oh.
Nice. I'm just wondering, like, when I should start, again, doing another riff about how Chris Avalon doing another sex pest. How Chris Avalon doing another
3, 2, 1, action!
Okay, so what?
we didn't catch that one again.
So, not legally actionable, allegedly. I mean, I shouldn't be joking about that. It's actually pretty terrible. But
Yeah.
Oh, it is, for sure.
But making light of the suffering of an abuser is fine.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. The hysteria of someone being faced with the consequences of their actions.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy.
Isn't justice and accountability hysterical?
So big question, Taylor. You're monitoring through your phone.
I am sorry. What was that?
You're monitoring through your phone right now, right?
I am trying, but it's not actually showing up as being live. So I realized if I could just showing up as being live. So I realized if I could just showing up as being live. So I realized it's fine.
Whoa! I just had it going as a loop on. Tell you what. So everybody, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, they can. They can hear me. Okay, so it's working. Oh God! Oh jeez!
And
that sounded awful.
Yeah. It's coming through my. Oh my lord! Okay, so it's working. Last stream, Adam joined us, and a really cool thing happened, where we gave you 2/3 of an episode, which is tight because my third is the one you missed. And I don't know what I did, because I've since gone through and checked everything, and everything seems... This is the same setup I used last session.
Weird.
Got nothing.
Gremlins. Gremlins happened. Just like in the Great War. Hello. How is everyone? Now that we're back, maybe we should explain with a bit more context what's going on. You know what fucking really gets me too? I wrote that intro and nobody heard it.
Oh, I forgot about that. You could read it today.
Yeah, I should probably do that. Why don't we start with... Would one of you like to... do like a quick explanation of where we are in the opening of Ishtas? Because because a third of it's missing, and we should do a recap, I guess.
Yeah, probably important. Adam, if you want to take this, you can. Otherwise, I can give a basic sum up.
Oh, the honor is all yours, Taylor. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and run with this. See how much I can remember here. So long story short is we are engaged in a process of collaborative world building. We're taking various scenarios and happenings that could occur in this world that is, again, correct me if I'm off here, is essentially a post-cataclysm setting in a desert that is following a period of rebuilding, following great destruction of technological civilization. There are remnants of old technology, but the destruction was so catastrophic and comprehensive that whatever of pre-existing civilization existed has collapsed, and people are again rebuilding. So there is availability and access to technology, but none of the cohesiveness of prior society. We're dealing with people who are in a relatively arid and resource-sparse part of the world that are trying to build everything from a consistent source of food and agriculture, which at this point in time is primarily locust-based, finding means of generating power and electricity, even developing like basic systems of laws and social structures. We came across the discovery, or rather the conception of the wire shapers, who are increasingly crypto-dictatorial hierarchy of people who have been selected for their analytic and technical skills because they have, a special social status and managerial status within this culture and this area due to their ability to manipulate and improve upon pre-war technology that is, arguably the most, or at least one of the most precious resources. So that's that. We have found for what we are dealing with in terms of setting, but there's still a lot of things to be ironed out and a lot of things to be extrapolated upon and figured out. And we're really only about, correct me if I'm off here, Corey, about only a quarter of the way through kind of the brainstorming session. So we shall see where this takes us.
Well, that is true. We are about a quarter of the way through. However, winter gets a little hairy. When we get into the winter deck, whenever a specific card is drawn,
it's over.
It's over. And if it's the first card drawn in winter, it's over. You resolve that turn and it's done. So we were potentially a third of the way through. Yeah. This is another thing, Adam, that was incredibly comprehensive. Jesus.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm glad I didn't do it.
Glad to help. I mean, among my few limited skills are an incredibly good memory.
So just to add on, we're about a generation removed from the Cataclysm. So the while tech is still available, I think one of the big things here too is understanding of manipulation of the tech is not so much as readily available, which is why the Wire Shapers, I think, are very easily moving into a position of power. Now, we should probably go over... Actually, let me read the opening real quick.
Yeah, people should hear it.
Yeah.
Furious. As the embers of Elkfinch's long-held dominion on this plane grew to a close, those of us that survived held to our beliefs in a now crumbling past as the looming future consumed us. The Baratosh, renegades from the glittering courts, were villains if you were to believe my countrymen of the Golden Helix. They gnash their teeth and wring their claws over doctrine as old as the crashing waves of poisoned salt that beset us at all sides. I myself was never convinced of this. In their floating geodesic domes, with their vaults far below the surface of Eba, the Baratosh, to me, always seemed a rare glimmer of wonder in our cracking world. But that was long ago, when my hands were not as cracked and weathered as the parchment I now write. The Baratosh, the Helix, Elkfinch, these things are all gone. And their legacy? Disaster. A faceless enemy we have come to know and fear as Quick Reef, a fast-growing coral wrought of iron and steel, unknowing and all-consuming. It grinds against the coast, moving ever inward, and what it brings from those depths, so we move. All is one, the final survivors of the Quick Reef flee to the center. Here we seek refuge amongst the dunes and bleached bones of those unfortunate enough to precede us. It has been a lifetime since the fall. Few remember like I do, and fewer still can work the marvels of the past. But with what little we have, I hope we can start something new here. Something better in this blasted hellscape. Something to call home. That is the opening that everyone watched us be really quiet for.
Yeah, judging by the opening, this adventure is apparently set in Cleveland?
Yes.
There's a very cheap shot, but yeah.
Couple things. We all have, just recapping how the game works, you draw a card, the card has 2 prompts, you pick one of the prompts, and you resolve that card's actions. Then we go through and reduce project clocks. Project clocks are on a 1 to 6 counter. Whoever created the project resolves the project projects succeed, they don't fail unless they get canceled. You can then either take an action, which is start a project, you can make a discovery, or you can hold a conversation. There are specific rules for conversations, which, again, if this comes up, we will go over again, because, again, I read those rules, and nobody heard them. Just to recap, this is The Quiet Year by Avery Alder. It is an incredible game. There's a bunch of really cool hacks out for it, too. If anyone wants to play it, it's sick, and it's offered on his website. If you're struggling with poverty or anything like that, they offer 30% flat off, no questions asked. So, Avery Alder kicks ass.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so let's go over a couple things let's go over a crazy map because it's kind of wild, and let's go over projects that we have going, places we have, people we have, abundances and scarcities. These are all elements of the game, and then we'll get into the game proper. So, who wants to explain the map? Oh shit! I gotta erase this capacitor because that's electric dogs now. No, sorry, robot dogs.
Robot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I can do that. So the square in the middle of the field is an abandoned military base, which has kind of become like a base of operations for the growing settlement of Ishtas. Down below it are a set of caves that lead into a large winding network of underground caverns filled with an anti-acoustic rock, which we've started mining for building projects. The small green dune to the northwest of the caverns is a special place in Ishtas where you can see special dancing lights in the sky on the third week of every new month. Over to the southwest corners of the map, we have our I forget what it was called. It was a water den.
Yeah.
Where we were mining water out of clay deposits that we found in the north east of the map. A little bit further up, can you please stop? A little bit further up, we have a large hole in the ground, which is what we call the Whispering Well. And this is a place in which the anti-acoustic rock was first discovered. It was a place originally of great myth. It's not as much anymore. And now we have the northeast corner of the map. This has become the site of like a billion different projects, but it's a series of stepped cliffs. It is also the site of an AI factory, and it is the site of our robot dogs. It's also the start of our infrastructure project, which is a series of roads that connect what is now Ishtas.
It's also where we're keeping all our food.
It is also where we're keeping all our food. To the northwest of the map, we have an abandoned geodesic city that, I forget, Corey, did it crash from the sky or it was unearthed from the ground?
I believe it. We don't know. That would be a conversation.
That is. Okay, so this is a geodesic city that was once home to the Baratosh. And I don't know what this frowny face next to it is. I have forgotten that.
Those are to Adam?
Yeah, that is our indication of child labor, which we do not approve of.
Which is bad, so it gets a frowny face.
It's a portrayal, but the frowny face indication is not an endorsement. We recognize that child labor is problematic, and we are calling it in, not calling it out.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Which we can go over. So places right now, we have the Broken Mountain Hermitage, which has been destroyed by a lightning storm. That is right up here. We have the Whisper Well. So the water den, where basically it's creating ice because it's what is it? At night it's freezing and then creating more water during the day when it because the temperature differentials. That's how it was working. Let's see here. Oh, we have a power plant too. Yeah, shit is fucking pretty dope actually. Abundance right now. We have water, circuitry, shifters or lupines, which are the robot dogs that were they were predators in formless electric form, but now they are like captured by our capacitor project and friendly, possibly because of the power plant. We don't know. We have the Briners, which are they're locusts, but they're migratory, is what we know. So we started pickling them, which is phenomenal. Because they were Duners. So we got barrels of Briners, which is tight.
That sounds like a children's song that's going to be sung in this region. Like
barrels of Briners. Also in abundance, we have ease of transport because of the roads and lack of trust, which is good. Scarcity, we have a scarce knowledge of the area. Which actually, I'd say with the roads, that probably isn't the case anymore.
Well, and we also had somebody come to the area at least claiming to be one of its original inhabitants. We haven't decided whether they were bullshitting or not, but that is also worth pointing out.
I'm going to take area knowledge off of scarcity, but I'm not going to add it to abundance. I think we're kind of carbon neutral on that. Scarcity Duners, which we were using in that because they're migratory, we know that they will disappear.
Right.
Pre-war weaponry, we have a scarcity of geothermic heat well. I don't know if that's a scarcity anymore. Like, in fact, I'm going to take geothermic heat well off of scarcity and put power under abundance.
Yeah.
Anti-acoustic rock under scarcity because we haven't found a way to easily mine it. Is that the case?
No, I believe that actually finished, did it not?
Oh, right. We found all the tunnels. We mapped out the tunnels. And the tunnels really... So, yeah, we can easily mine it. So, I'm going to Control-C and Control-V that. Well, we got a lot of abundances, actually. We have a scarcity of...
We're thriving right now.
Yeah. We have a scarcity of skinnies, which sounds like a good scarcity to have, because those are semi-sentient fucking aggressively thefting mole rats.
Yeah, a bunch of clever, socially coordinated, stealthy, larcenous, oversized, naked mole rats. Yeah, so part of the local ecology.
All right, cool. In that case, Adam, let's start with you.
All right, so are we still in spring, or did we just get to fall?
Just got to summer.
Oh, summer. Yeah, I know seasons.
Me and Taylor both fucked up last time. So.
I was about to say I did the same thing.
So, all right, yeah, I just draw a card?
Yeah, just pull her right out.
All right.
Throw it on the map.
A project finishes early. What led to its completion? Or the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. Oh, this is a very pleasant card.
This is such a nice card.
Actually, Taylor, so the quarry isn't finished. The quarry's 4 weeks out.
Oh, shit, it is. Okay, yeah.
And what projects are running at the moment? Just refresh me here.
Well, we have 2 projects that are going to finish this turn, which is the Geodesic Hall, which is pulling the city out because of Taylor's tunnel discovery. We know that we can't build out too much onto the land without collapsing. And then we have the capacitor project. Actually, never mind. The capacitor project finished last session with the dogs.
Yeah, capacitor project's done.
So we actually have...
It's the quarry and the city. Those are the only 2 projects we have actively going on.
Huh. Okay, so we should probably start a new project. It's just we should also, in tandem with that, probably try to make some more new discoveries. So the power plant was completed recently, but we realized that in terms of the both knowledge and resources available to conduct electricity, we could only there was a scarcity of power beyond it. Like we could only
it was very localized.
Yeah, only really drive a reliable course of electrical current to relatively nearby regions, except with kind of the ascent of the wire shapers and with kind of the formalization of their knowledge and with the greater authority they have to execute and order projects, the wire shapers are going to start trying to draw a sustainable but still relatively limited amount of electrical current from the geothermic power plant in the southwest of the map to the major population hub in the northeast.
Okay. Tight. What is that project? How long do you think that takes?
Probably the longest time frame is 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be 6 weeks, and that is going to be, I'll just call that trans-regional power project.
Dope. I'm going to, why don't you draw that?
Yeah.
Can you draw a trans-regional power project for me, just real quick?
I can.
Yeah, I mean, considering it, my attempts at drawing anything turns into accidental Jackson Pollock. Let's see how this goes.
I fucking love that album.
But yeah, let me draw that and draw shape.
Sure.
Freehand.
Yeah, hell yeah. Get it.
All right.
Okay, then while you draw that, my project actually. So Taylor, yours goes down to 3.
Oh, right.
Mine, the geodesic hall. Okay, so we. Okay, yeah.
Is it done?
Yes, it is done.
I had it at 2 weeks. Okay.
I had it 1, but maybe
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so with the geodesic hull, we're able to pull this city is probably the wrong word. It is like a small. Like a small enclave kind of thing. Not a small enclave, like a larger enclave, I guess. And while the major structures in here are both stripped clean by children and largely destroyed, the platform that it was on isn't in horrible shape. It's not large enough for us to build our whole community on, but I think getting it going isn't going to take as much work as we thought it was going to, and we have the circuitry to do it, and it gives us a point to build off of. Maybe we can't have everything on one level, but we can have tiers of these things coming down, because now we have the designs to build from, and we have something to start with. So, yeah. I'm going to I guess, change the city to a circle. Yeah, there you go. Hey, we know what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's me. And Adam, it is your turn to start a project, make a discovery, or hold a discussion.
And
I'm going to put under scarcity platform. I get a geodesic platform.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the map here because we should start discovering some things, but we're also in an area that is pretty sparse. How do you guys feel about another pre-cataclysm finding?
It's up
or
to
discovery
you.
Of some kind?
Not us, up to us to say.
Yeah, it's all you.
Yeah, alright. Oh, okay. You find, of all things, what looks like. This is not pre-war. You find what looks like, as you have some folks who are wandering the desert, stumble across what looks like a not too far back meteor or comet that had sort of plummeted from the atmosphere into sort of the into the soft impact of the desert sands. And you, as you explore, realize it's rife with all sorts of rare metals, like the sort of things that you potentially need to reinforce circuitry, things that are otherwise pretty scarce. You know, the sort of things that you would otherwise need to mine for. Like, basically, almost Deus Ex Machina at one point in time came crashing through the sky in the atmosphere. And you have a lot of, I think it's rich with metals like cobalt.
Okay, like
and things like that.
And shit.
Tungsten, yeah. And that is discovered, let's just say, where's a relatively remote part of the map? Let's say it's found right here in the south. Let me...
Taylor, watch out, there's a comet on you.
No.
Because you live in the south.
We'll try to draw dual circles to indicate kind of an impact zone.
So by the sound of it, we have this this comet, this meteorite with rich with all these metals. We don't have really a way to purify those out, though. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Like, we don't really have, it has a sizable amount of these metals, but the means of processing them and turning them into something of industrial functionality or applicability still needs to be put into motion.
I'm going to put that under scarcity, then, because we have it, and we probably have a lot of it, but we don't have the way to utilize it yet. So that sounds like scarcity?
Yeah. It sounds like a big old TBD, but yeah.
Sick. All right, cool. Dope. Taylor, I believe that's your turn then.
Okay. We're not drawing cards yet, are we?
Yeah, Doug.
Oh, we are. Okay, cool. Hang on one sec. So we're gonna... Come on. Okay, I'm just going to be like this then.
Do you need me to pull it out for you?
Oh, I'm dumb. Hang on.
Are you pulling on the...
I was drawing from spring.
Cool, yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot. It worked last time.
Ooh.
9 of summer.
Ooh.
A project fails. Which one and why? Or something goes afoul and supplies are ruined at a new scarcity. Oh, no.
Cool.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
This is the antithesis of the really nice one that we got
Yeah.
a moment ago. Like, everything
I was
is
so confident. I'm gonna actually fuck up my own shit here. I think that as they are mining out all of this anti-acoustic rock, the original intention for it was to have it used for like building material, because there's not a lot of it here. The idea was that they were going to use it and build houses and buildings and all that stuff. They quickly find that because of the absorbency of it, that quality of the rock is largely due to the fact that it is so porous. And they realize very quickly that it makes for poor building material. I think that the first couple structures that they make with it go terribly. I think that they fall down and the mine is abandoned.
Okay.
I think the mine fails.
So the quarry is coming off, and that would mean that anti-acoustic rock is staying in scarcity.
Yep.
All right.
Unless we find another use for it, anyways.
Even then, it's still something we'd have to start a project to get the quarry going again. Yeah.
Right. And correct. Help me out here. What else can I do on my turn?
We'll get to that in a second. We're going to reduce project die first.
Oh, yeah.
I also just want to add that the mine collapsing would probably be in the second, maybe third verse of the Ballad of Dune or Brining.
Hell yeah,
That is, yeah.
Easily.
This is a mining town in the desert.
Yeah, it's what radicalizes Dune or Brining.
It is. This is the moment.
Not the council coming to power, mind you.
Well, to be fair, labor abuses will do that to a man.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So power lines reduces by 1, bringing it to 5. And Taylor, now you can either start a project, make a discovery, or hold a conversation. And
so...
Go on.
Yeah.
No, go on.
So I'm actually going to go on to the thing I stumbled on earlier when I was recapping projects. I think we need to have a discussion about this geodesic city, especially as far as we've completed that project.
All right.
Was this thing underground and it popped up, or was this thing floating in the sky and it fell?
Okay, so I'm going to just go over the rules for hold a discussion, just so everyone knows where we are. Another of the 3 action types is hold a discussion. You can choose to open with a question or a statement. In Taylor's case, a question. Starting from you and going clockwise, we'll just go downward. Each player gets to weigh in once with a single statement of 1 to 2 sentences. If you opened with a question, you get to weigh in last. If you opened with a statement, that's it for you. A discussion never results in a decision being made. Everyone weighs in, and then it's over. This is how conversations work in communities. They're untidy and inconclusive affairs. It's important to stick to 1 or 2 sentences. If any of us feel like we have more to say on a topic, we can always hold another discussion about it on another week. So each is tied to a situation on the map. When the discussion ends, mark the situation with a small dot. Yours is, we need to, can you just hit me with it again?
Was this an underground city, or was this a floating city?
I think largely the question is irrelevant because there's plenty we can mine from and utilize for our city from either.
And I would add, if it potentially had mechanisms for staying afloat and propelling themselves through the air, that is, I think, relevant to consider because that is indicative of potential technology that wouldn't exist if it was underground and the other way around. I'm inclined to imagine it was probably airborne.
And I would also posit that if it did come from underground, then we could be looking at other potential issues. If it was pushed up from beneath the Earth's surface, that could mean that Ishtos lies on a fault line, which could mean very serious problems for the city and the settlement in general.
Okay, That's our discussion. All right. It's my turn, actually. It is me, ya boy.
Your boy, H. Davis.
Someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Who? Someone leaves the community. Who and what are they looking for? Oh no, I could
Dune or Brian.
Leave me alone.
He's looking for those goddamn Brits.
I don't get it. They don't exist. No, that's not true. The British will find a way even into our fantasy world.
I was going to say they'll colonize at some point.
How? Okay. I think a very mysterious person comes and they kind of matriculate into the community very quietly, and no one really notices at first. It takes like some days before people realize, and people call them out like, who the fuck are you? You're not like from our community. And Taylor, actually, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
What? Can you open up Microscope? You know what? Never mind. I don't need the name. What we do find out is that this grizzled-looking figure who instilled ourselves into the community was in fact he was a master of spycraft for Elt Finch, who was the man who brought the world to ruin, and in fact was he was at one point an AI, but he is now he is now in the body of a man.
That's an interesting reversal.
Yes.
Huh.
But he basically like a spy master, and curiously enough, alive.
This is Augustus?
Or so he claims.
Fair. Damn. All right.
In fact, I'm going to put people Augustus spy master, but I'm putting that in quotations. So, take that, Winnie. Get yelled at, son. Cool. Project Die, go down 1. Power lines are at 4. Now I get to start a project, make a discovery. The way I see it, either this thing was an underground thing or an overground thing. Either way, it would either be a propulsion unit in there to keep it afloat, or a protective, like some sort of distress unit to keep it from being crushed under the pressure of being under Earth. So mine is pretty simply to study and ascertain the the capabilities of the geodesic platform. So geodesic research is, I guess, what I would call it. I don't like. Here's the thing. With the wire shapers, I think this changes it from being a very long project to probably a rather short one, because we also found out that the wire shapers at least claim to be able to, like, commune with machines. Because that was last session, we found that out at the end. So I'm going to say that this takes 3 weeks.
Okay. And Corey, just to make sure we're on the same page here, the Trans-Regional Power Project is now at 5 or 4?
4.
4. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's my turn. And that brings us back to Adam.
All right.
Guys, it's a pleasure playing games with you right now.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing about, like, drawing cards on the summer deck is, like, the wild variation is in tone. It could be like, flowers bloom. Where are the new tulips? And then you draw another card, and it's like, half the country has been eaten, half the community has been eaten by wolves. How loud did they scream? It's like, all right, card. All right, here we go into the abyss.
This is Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah. A contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? They're asking for Duda Briding. They're asking for his release. Duda Briding's been hunger striking for the past month.
We can't release it. He's not in prison, guys.
Yeah, but the thing is, none of us can be free until we overthrow the English crown. Anyway.
That's fair.
Or a contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations.
Ooh.
What have they damaged, and why did they damage it? Is it permanent? Oh.
This is fun.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Okay.
That's a nasty one.
Yeah, I'm going with the latter, because that shit sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so a contingent within the community, in this case, are basically Luddites. They are
Hey,
anti...
what?
Luddites. We got Luddites, folks. They are
Go.
anti-wire shapers who think that the wire shapers have accrued too much power in an undemocratic and unfair manner and are starting to unilaterally run the community. Because again, it sounds we're still in the transition towards technocratic dictatorship, as it were.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's a faction that is trying to, led by Duna Brining, I'm kidding, a faction that is trying to push back on that and is starting to engage in what you could say direct action to attempt to undermine the goals or projects of the wire shapers, because if the wire shapers successfully bring electrical power to the main community, that will probably give them a level of authority and prestige from which at least these folks think we might not be able to turn back from. So they've started sabotaging the foundations of the power line project.
Ooh.
What do they call themselves?
This is we have to think something clever. The Reclaimers.
Ooh.
I don't know for certain yet if there is a specific ideological or even religious strain, but we do know that their primary driving motivation is that they don't want the wire shapers to become all powerful. And there probably are some people in the community who think they're total cranks and paranoiacs. And some of them might be kind of kooky.
But I mean, you can't like deny that what they're doing takes chutzpah. Like, these are the kinds of people who would walk 500 miles.
I was waiting for someone to make that kind of joke. I was waiting. Actually, that is the rallying cry. Holy shit! You've known they've launched their first direct action when you can hear sort of like rolling across the sand dunes as sledgehammers are clanging against the foundation of the power lines. You can hear people shouting in unison, "Da da da!" Anyway,
this is the most Irish desert I've ever heard of in my fucking life.
It really is. We've created an Irish-coded desert. Ireland, one of the only European cultures that didn't colonize everything, somehow ended up in an equivalent of like Saudi Arabia.
Real quick, what piece of equipment did they damage, and was it permanent?
So what they did is they tore away, kind of like, because we're early in the project of laying the power lines.
Yeah.
And so they tore up the foundations, and it's not permanent. In fact, it's kind of futile. It's almost more symbolic at this point in time.
I would say this much: power lines project die probably doesn't reduce this turn. Then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Yeah.
So they do some superficial. Mostly symbolic damage, like trying to destroy the foundation of the power lines is more, I guess, propaganda of the deed than it is anything that is going to cause serious harm.
Hell yeah!
So it's more like an advertisement for their cause than anything else.
Dope.
And they would walk 500 miles.
They're that driven.
Cool. So, project die are going to reduce, except for power lines, which is going to stay the same. I think moving forward, we might want to, because we have this other faction working against the wire shapers, I think moving forward, if we have a project that we think the wire shapers would quicken the pace on, we should probably not do that until there's a resolution between these factions. Just by the nature of there is a competitive force working against them.
Okay.
Yeah. So run that back again. We should, going forward...
So we were giving a boost to technological projects just when we're putting the time frame forward. Let's take that away because they're I think we're net neutral on that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a faction that is actively trying to undermine the wire shape.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So geodesic research went down to 2. Adam.
Ooh. Okay. I launched a project. I found. Okay, so I have two potential ideas. Could we have a discussion,
Yeah.
but just among the wire shapers?
Ooh, yeah, we can totally do that. I mean, interesting take on things, but yes, I think we can do that.
So the wire shapers convene in council, or at least their leadership does. And the question is a broad one, but a pointed one considering recent events, and that is my cat. That is, what do we do about the reclaimers?
Taylor, I think you are next in the turn.
Yeah. One of them suggests finding a way to banish them to the old hermitage, the ruins of the hermitage on the top of the mountains.
I think whatever we do with them is speaking too soon. I think how we do with them is what we need to solve first. I suggest we make friends with the spy master Augustus.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other wire shapers says, I am apprehensive of aggressive or directly coercive action. I would recommend rather that we work on a influence or persuasion campaign among the people here that shows them that the wire shapers are in fact misguided. They do not understand the community and have its best interests at heart, and they are fanatics and extremists.
Wait, that they're wire shapers are?
Oh, excuse me, the reclaimers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the reclaimers are fanatics and extremists. They don't have the community's interests at heart. They are driven by delusions and ideology, and they are harmful. Their goals are harmful. And putting a pin in that, I'm considering proposing a project.
We have to wait
based
until
off
your
this
turn.
discussion, but I'm going to sit on that one.
Yeah. So, just to be clear, the Wire Shapers did come up with the plan of draconian exile, just nefarious, underhanded spy shit, and propaganda. So these are good guys.
Yeah, they're not ominous.
These are the good guys, you know.
We're the good guys. Why are you breathing? I saw you cast lightning out of your hand.
Are we the baddies? A skull on my uniform.
So what? Oh boy. Okay, cool. So project die reduce. Power lines go down to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And geodesic research goes down to 1.
Yeah.
And now... we already reduced those die. I'm sorry, didn't we? Oh, did we actually reduce them last time?
I don't think we did.
Okay, cool. Okay, dope. Then it is Taylor's turn.
Okay. Pull from Summer. Here we go.
It just says Hot Girl Summer.
It just says Hot Girl Summer. Summer is a time for production and trending to the earth. Start a project related to food production, or summer is a time for conquest and the gathering of might. Start a project related to military readiness and conquest.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Well, so I do feel like we've actually got a lot of food production with the Dooner brining projects. And honestly, the way this conversation's been going, I feel like the military readiness especially probably makes a lot of sense. I think that the Wire Shapers create a military unit or a military branch called the Circuit. And these are specifically, they're advertised as peacekeepers. They're advertised as a police force.
Aren't they always?
But their entire purpose, I think, revolves monitoring and arresting reclaimers.
Sick.
Interesting.
Fuck, the circuit's so dope, dude.
It's a closed circuit at that.
Oh shit, that's so good!
The closed circuit. It's called the closed circuit.
Yeah, that's a really great name for like the internal security apparatus of a technocratic dictatorship.
Yeah, we should not get so excited.
Man, I'm so good at dictatorships, guys.
Guys, I'm just really good at authoritarianism.
Yeah,
I had a job interview yesterday, and they asked me what my strengths were, and I was like, I can totally do dictatorships.
And again, I don't love them.
Let's put it this way: if a left-wing president is elected in a small country that has one major resource,
I'm your guy.
I'm your guy.
Oh, wait, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very underhanded. Yeah.
What, their exports are copper and bananas, and they want to nationalize those?
Weird. Good job. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah.
Oh, that got very real.
Oh, that got sad.
That got like 50 years of foreign policy real.
Fuck. Okay, cool. Dope. We have to reduce project die.
Yeah.
Power lines goes down to 2.
Oh, so hang on, wait 1 sec before we do that. Didn't that card say that is a project I have to start?
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the question then is, how long do I think it would take to create this police force? Let me ask you this, because the answer to that I think depends on. I feel like the answer to that depends on the success of that propaganda campaign. If we even decided to do it, we haven't decided that yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, then I think it takes longer. I think it's going to be a 4-week project.
Okay.
Because you're kind of starting from scratch, trying to win people over.
Okay. Cool.
Now they reduce.
So power lines go down to 2. Geodesic research goes down all the way.
Hell yeah! Tell us what we find.
So in researching this, we ascertained pretty quickly that this was a floating city, because that's dope. But not just that like even though a lot of the interior structures are destroyed, it doesn't take much to kick on. I think what we discover is this is something. I think it floats is what we discover through the research. That like all it took, yeah. And again, this isn't huge, but it's a start. So yeah, this thing has wings. Is
all right. So we can just float this bad boy any old time.
It's floating. Like it's currently like through discovery of research, we found that like, hey, this isn't even like busted. But again, it's not huge. It's not enough to like get our whole settlement on. It's enough to get like we could build off of it for sure. But it is like again a start.
Yeah.
It looked like a flying turtle shell.
And then do I need to... Then I have a last thing.
Yes, you could start a project, make a discovery, or hold a conversation.
Okay. Going in tandem... Going in tandem, I think, with the rest of this turn, I'm going to say... I'm going to follow up on Adam's thing, and I'm going to say the creation of a anti-reclaimer like propaganda campaign.
All right.
Cool.
And I'm going to say that's going to be a little bit shorter. That'll be like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
How long does propaganda really take, guys?
Look, you make some posters. You get it's a closed circuit. it's a design that writes itself. You're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, now I just have the idea of fascists like sitting and making macaroni cards, which makes them a lot more lighthearted.
Yes, we make macaroni cards of the perfect Aryan family.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh, the world
I
makes
should be
me
saying that
sad.
considering what I look like. Anyway.
Yeah, I had that exact thought. 3 white guys on a stream don't need to be doing German accents talking about fascism.
Yeah, and to be fair, it does give me a little goose in my step, but...
I mean, to be fair, we're belittling fascists.
We are, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Yeah, really taking an aggressive stance with belittling fascists. Hot take,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Hot take. I
I
know.
mean, it is becoming an increasingly hot take in America. So.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not have that conversation.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in that
Yeah,
one.
I'd like to finish this season at some point tonight because I can't.
Outsiders arrive in the area. Why are they a threat? How are they vulnerable? Or, outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted? Ooh. So, we met earlier, a faction that was moving through with the Duners and kind of hunting them, a sort of like
A nomadic tribe.
yeah, a nomadic
yeah.
tribe. What we learn is they're not the only nomadic tribe in the area. However, this one is like an aggressive tribe. Like, they're raiders. Like, these aren't really like they follow the other nomadic tribes and like pick them off for resources. They hunt bigger game essentially. Yeah, and look at us. So I'm going to draw a sword. And under... I don't think there's, like, a ton... It said how many of them are there. Like, this is a tribe that, like, they work in secret, essentially, working on other nomadic groups. So I don't think there's a ton of them, but they are, like, exceptionally violent and exceptionally good at what they do.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm putting them... What do you guys think? Scarcity or abundance?
That's
I think
really
it'd be-
interesting.
How big are they? And they're localized to this one area.
Well, right now they are. They're a nomadic group. But
That I feel like right now it's a scarcity, but
Yeah.
it has the potential to
become an abundance.
to become an abundance really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote Sarcity. Oh, I wasn't even trying to write scarcity, so I'm just going to write raiders there. Cool. Dope. Then projects reduce. Closed circuit becomes 1. Propaganda becomes 1. Ooh, Taylor, next turn's going to be a fun one for you. And power lines becomes 2. Cool. And now I got to do a thing. Oh man. Yeah. I think my project is just in response to this raiding group, I think. It is a diplomatic one. And I think it's diplomatic on multiple fronts. We're sending... The Wire Shapers are entrusting Augustus with meeting the Raiders and trying to come to some sort of terms.
Interesting.
Protecting the city, things like that. Yeah, I think this is that's something we should probably... But I think this takes some time because they're hard to find. Like I said, they're very good at what they do. This is a 4-week project.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw... I can't draw a handshake. Fuck. An olive. Because that's peace.
Yay, peace.
I fucked up. So yeah, that's my turn.
Nice. So, looks like it goes to moi?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a very, very nice olive, Corey.
Thank you. It's an olive
beautiful.
branch.
Summer is fleeting.
Ooh.
Discard
Ooh.
two cards off the top of the deck and take 2 actions this week.
Oof. All right.
Okay, so I get 2 things to do. And you're going to, from the back end, knock off the cards?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a project. And this is a project that is has been seen by the Wire Shapers.
Actually, I think what we have to do right now is take those cards off and then resolve Project Die, and then you do your 2.
Okay.
You take 2 actions.
Yeah, go for it.
So let's see what beautiful things we're getting rid of. The eldest among you.
Eldest among you dies? Yeah, I'm fine without that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a fine one to lose. Bye, death.
Yeah. Death is canceled.
Cool.
Tight. Sick.
Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you... Ooh, that actually would have been a fun one.
That would have been a fun one. Oh, well.
Cool. Okay. Project Die reduced. The Closed Circuit and Propaganda, the band.
Propaganda, yeah. That's
cool. Cool. Tight. I like Propaganda.
So yeah, I don't really know what to say here. The campaign, I think, is something that helps the whole police force take off. I think that at the beginning they have a tougher time getting people into this, but as they sort of have more of these like rallies and meetings, and like they have more of this sort of art that's being hung up, this macaroni art of happy non-reclaimer families. I think that more and more people become like open to the idea of having these raiders. And I think that, sorry, not raiders, these police forces. And I think that their uniforms come out, and it's an eye that's composed entirely of electricity.
Dope.
I think that's the logo.
Nice.
Tell you what I'm gonna do then. I think lack of trust needs to go to scarcity, because we still have a faction that is actively working against people, the Luddites, the Reclaimers. Yeah. But but the rest of the organization, that's the wrong word, community, seems
the rest of the community is about it, I think. Yeah.
Cool. Dope. Okay, Adam, two actions.
All right. So the first action is going to be a project launched by our good friends, benevolent overseers, the Wire Shapers, who, taking stock of what's happening here, seeing the Reclaimers, and also seeing reports of raiders moving through the areas, as well as the work they've already done, kind of putting together a internal security apparatus and a propaganda campaign, decide and realize in their infinite wisdom that this all can't be managed best by a bunch of STEM lords. And so they begin to form a branch within the Wire Shapers known as the Law Shapers that are essentially responsible for policy, for setting policy. And that could include everything from labor to housing to military strategy and security. Basically taking, kind of expanding their organization and beginning to, again, the nascent process of also like picking out people with, particular young people or children that seem to have particular aptitude for these things. Basically, the kind of kids who got a perfect verbal on their SAT, and bring them into this public policy and politics and strategy faction of the Wire Shapers that is tasked with organizing these kind of things. And of course, they will also be responsible for sort of continuing propaganda. And this is kind of rationalized, as happens in these escalating situations, by saying, well, it is clear that we are facing both internal and external threats. For the sake of the community and for our progress and for our future, it is necessary that we create a more formal governing body. Or formal policy body. They're not calling it governing because I think they're still trying to pretend they're not, absolute rulers at this point, but they do create that apparatus.
So Law Shapers, so this is a project then?
Yeah, a project to allocate people to this and to determine what departments are within it and what their responsibilities would be, because they're very like a methodical, analytic bunch. And so they're going to want to, in a very regimented, logistical way, determine who goes where and what is overseen in what ways.
How long does it take?
What are you thinking week-wise?
3 weeks.
That sounds right. Cool. And you get to make one more.
One more project. Or discovery, or
conversation.
To clarify, did we finish up the Trans-Regional Power Project?
It's got one more week.
One more? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'd have to say, maybe the next project is creating some sort of refining operation near the geothermal power plant to refine the metals from the meteor.
All right, yeah. So refining plant.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think that one takes?
4 weeks?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
cool.
a bit longer. I'd say maybe 5.
Okay.
5
weeks.
Let's go with 5.
So draw both lawbringers and draw a policy body and and then also a refining plant. And those are okay. Adam, that is your turn.
That's me, right?
Yep.
Okay. You discover a new cache of supplies or resources at a new abundance, or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity.
Yeah.
Let me have a quick look at our scarcities really quick.
Skinnies, Duners, pre-war weaponry, anti-acoustic rock, geodesic platform I'm taking off of scarcity.
Yeah.
And putting under, I guess, abundance. We have one.
Okay. And anything else especially that is on there?
Rare metals, raiders, and a lack of trust.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to start a project to put a lot more distrust into this community.
This community has gone on loving each other too long.
Yeah. Okay. I think that this actually works really well with the power plant that's going to be finished this week. So I think that as they are laying down these lines, like roughly in this area here, I think that they come across this naturally occurring vein underneath the sands of a... I'm still trying to decide what it is. I was hoping I was going to have it by the end of this sentence.
I was kind of hoping my brain would do the work.
I was hoping it would. You'd be surprised. It normally works.
No, I've GM'd before.
Yeah. If I use enough adverbs, I'll come up with it before I have to say the noun. No, I think that what they come across here is a control center buried beneath the sands. And I think that when they start to mess around with it, it's fully functional and operating.
Oh.
And when they start to mess with it, the lights in the sky begin to change.
Whoa!
Oh, shit. Whoa.
Okay, what do I put under abundance, Taylor?
I think that would be like a pre-war tech or pre-war weaponry.
I mean,
that's sort of what I was going
it's
for.
almost more specific than that, like aerial regional control or something, right? Like, I don't think is the right thing. Manipulation.
Like, you can't make it rain or
Right.
anything like that.
It's essentially illusion that they have.
Satellite illusion.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Welcome to the satellite illusion. This is a sexy club.
Yeah, we discover peyote.
it's fucking, and everyone just chills for a little bit.
Actually, wait. I shouldn't go off on a tangent, but like the Reclaimers develop a religion around returning to the Earth with a psychedelic component. There we go.
Now I love the Reclaimers.
Ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-da, took a dose. Da-da-da.
Whoa! It's like that time I did ayahuasca in the jungle.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I took ayahuasca right next to the Amazon River, actually, with the Shuar tribe.
I did not know that was where you did it. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Holy shit! When were you in? Was this Ecuador, Brazil?
Ecuador.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was 2011. It was right after Fukushima happened.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which was dope because the shaman who gave it to me also told me right before I took it. I was the second white person to ever do ayahuasca with the tribe, and by the tribe I mean the shaman at his compound. And then he left me next to the Amazon by myself for 3 hours, tripping balls.
Nice.
And he told me through a interpreter right before that man's time on Earth was coming to a close. Now here's the most potent hallucinogenic drug. What?
He was having fun with you.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, but yeah.
It doesn't take a shaman to know that.
Yeah.
I'm dumb as hell, and I know that.
He also hated weed. Interesting.
Let's do our countdown really quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so refining goes down to 4. The Law Shapers go down to 2.
Mm-hmm.
The diplomatic mission with the Raiders goes down to 2. And the Trans-Regional Power Project is complete.
Oh shit!
So tell us about it.
Okay, so the Wire Shapers, realizing that there is a sustainable source of environmentally friendly energy in the form of the geothermic fissure, were able to obviously harness that at first, and then, taking considerable effort in their combined knowledge, laid down nascent power lines to draw electricity to the more populated northeastern part of the map. And initially, the power doesn't seem to be all that. They're not drawing a lot of current, but sort of as it gets off the ground and as they, with a bit more time, continue to reinforce it, are able to better power all sorts of devices, able to better reinforce, for example, the closed circuit, able to better also provide even things like cooling.
Yeah.
And also prepare for various forms of warming, basically temperature control, that is hugely popular. And like the outcome of this is not only is the project itself a success, but the consequences are an enormous success for the Wire Shapers. Like the many people are beginning to experience something akin to pre-cataclysm daily comfort.
Dope.
And it's the sort of thing, where like, even as you've probably seen this, even in the real world, in the most oppressive regimes, if you provide for the daily material or physical needs and comforts of the people, they won't rise up against you, or they won't get too pissed off. So that is, we're starting to see this. They're basically making air conditioning.
Yeah, that's fucking...
And things like that.
I mean, honestly, it has, like, fucking... You're probably stopping people from dying with air conditioning, so, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's during the summer, so they probably are, like, saving
lives.
Yeah,
very true. I didn't even think about that.
Bye, Winnie! I
love you!
Oh, that's so cute.
It's so cute.
Except when I go upstairs and see her, she goes...
She wakes up. Well, look, if you wake up sweaty,
it's fair.
Yeah. Speaking of adorable family members, there's my cat.
But, yes.
Yeah. Had we drawn this card, had it not been deleted last round, the question of like the eldest person dies.
Yeah.
Heat stroke.
For sure. Yeah. That's a like non-question. I think. Yeah, man. Fucking. As questionable as they are, they're doing fucking real actionable. They're making a community out of nothing.
Which, of course, they never hesitate to remind critics of.
Right, with the closed circuit right behind them, clutching.
Right.
Yeah. This is the sort of thing where, like, what I love about this is, like, we're creating, like, what a very real-world, like, socio-political breakdown of, like, how, oppressive regimes happen. Because, like, again, not everything they do is bad. There's reason for their popularity. They might be universally beloved, but... It's
not even just with fascist dictatorships. Like, when you look at organized crime, when you look at gangs, those people don't come to power just by being mean and awful. Like, they usually rise to power by providing a much-needed service in almost every instance.
Like, the Gulf Cartel in Mexico is known for, like, giving to, like, local Catholic churches and, like, paying for kids' educations. And, like, even, like, not to bog us down too much, but, like, this is a funny anecdote. But before he was captured, Joaquin Guzman, a.k.a. El Chapo, who was the leader of the Gulf Cartel, he would go into restaurants, in, like, local restaurants around where he lived, and he would basically walk in, and he would have his guards, his, like, henchmen, like, lock down the entire place, take everyone's cell phone, and then he would just, like, eat these huge plates of food. But after he, like, finished up with it, like, after he, like, took everyone's cell phone, his guards would say, "Don't worry, the boss has this covered," and he would pay for everyone's meal.
Yeah.
Man, even things like that.
It was the same thing in late 19th century New York with like Boss Nass and stuff. Like he would walk around like the poor communities in New York and literally like pay for people's rent and shit. And that was why nobody wanted to ever rat him out, because he was doing them huge favors. But yeah.
And it's how cults work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like
I'm reinforcing your comfort with my power.
Yeah.
So the Wire Shapers, presumably full of incredibly smart and calculating people, are entirely aware of what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
God yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I put comfort under abundance.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was just the card, right?
No. That was us running down the things and the completion of the.
Okay, cool. Okay, then now it's your turn to take an action, Taylor. Right?
Oh God, it is. It is, isn't it? Fuck.
Or was the illusory plant the action? I got so caught up in our conversation.
Yeah, I think as per the card, I think that is my action.
Wait, hold on. The card was discover. Okay, no, that. Did you take an action though?
Oh, I guess I didn't.
Yeah, no, you got to start a project, make a discovery.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be a long project, because I'm worried I've bit off more than I can chew narratively with this discovery.
Yep.
They still have to figure out how to make this thing work, and it is very, very complicated.
Okay, then I'm going to put the satellite illusion under scarcity then.
Yeah. So satellite illusion project 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. What if? Oh, that's interesting.
Because the amount of propaganda power you have when you can literally manipulate the heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which is crazy though, because they're trying to figure it out right now. Like, the sky's probably lighting up like fucking insane because they don't know how it works.
It's like a strobe light.
Oh god, they accidentally give photosensitive people. Oh god,
they accidentally light up a photorealistic Tucker Carlson and Dancing with the Stars.
Oh no, I was gonna say that we made a very sexy nightclub, but you kind of ruined it with the Tucker Carlson.
Wait, are you implying that America's most popular television crypto fascist isn't incredibly sexy?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
That bloated Turner Diaries reading asshole. Yeah.
He looks like he hasn't been finished in the kiln.
Seriously, he looks like a microwaved ham with a tie around it.
Fuck, I want to say that to Tucker Carlson.
Can we have a new stream where we just roast Tucker Carlson for like an hour straight?
To be fair, he already looks pretty roasted, but yeah.
Nice.
Oh, got him.
The roasting Tucker Carlson hour. Yeah.
Someone get this ham because it's already melted. Hams don't melt. You did.
Yeah, what I love about Tucker Carlson is half the time when he's talking, he looks like a dog that's staring at a ball you're about to throw. Like, anyway.
Okay.
For another time, we shall roast Tucker Carlson.
Nice. Okay, then it's my turn, and I believe this is the last card of summer.
Fuck.
God damn. Hot Girl Summer is almost over.
Yeah.
And all I got was hot.
Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map. Ooh.
Okay.
Or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry? Ooh, so many good ones.
Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map is the most like... That makes my mouth water as a GM.
I know.
Okay.
Mystery, did you say? Apologies, we're going to have a guest on the stream now.
No, by all means.
Oh, look at that cat.
Actually, hang on. My dog's been dying to get in on this. What up?
Hey, buddy.
What up, boy?
Yeah, this is little Marty, named after Matthew McConaughey's, or excuse me, not Matthew McConaughey, named after Woody Harrelson's character from True Detective.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There is something that happens. At night, it starts and everyone thinks it is a wind at first. And it starts happening between 2 and 4 a.m. But the more it happens, because it happens a couple nights in a row, and it's the sound of static. And it's loud and oppressive. And it starts to build in intensity over those 2 hours, and then it fades in the morning. And it starts to it's starting to happen every night.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, static mystery, I'm putting under static sounds.
Got a lot of static.
Got a feedback loop going on over here.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm imagining the sound like, those early AOL login screens that sound like a Looney Tunes character being strangled.
It's oh man, I've been working with cables too much, never mind. It's crosstalk, baby. This is not a properly shielded cable. I can tell you. You have foil and a braid on this bad boy, you're going to avoid a lot of crosstalk. Fuck. I'm a giant nerd. Oh no.
Well, you're an engineer now, apparently.
Yeah, that's your whole thing.
That'll do it, man. You've reached the highest state of nerddom, being an engineer.
It's up there.
I'm reducing project die. Satellite illusion is at 5. Law Shapers is at 1. Refining plant is at 3. And Augustus diplomacy. I don't know if did I reduce this last time?
Hang on, I did. Augustus was at 2. It's now at 1.
Okay, it's now at 1. Cool. That's where I had it. So project die reduced. Nothing happens, and I get to make a project. I think what's happening, like with the advent of comfort going on, people are getting concerned with the only food that we have available to us being pickled locusts. And what's wrong with pickled locusts? You don't like the briners? And I think we're starting an ecological project. So it's taking like these blocks of ice that are forming from the heat vent in the water well, and moving them underneath a canvas, like a very taut canvas, and essentially making like a greenhouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, greenhouse project. I'm gonna throw that.
How many weeks?
I think that takes 3 weeks. Well, I mean, it's not that much stuff, right? Like, it's a canvas. It's making. Well, I think the soil to turn the soil like that probably.
Remember, it's not just a greenhouse; it's the first greenhouse.
Well, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's turning the sand and clay into like a miscible, growable thing, and that probably takes fertilization turning. I've been reading the Martian. That's probably why this is. So I am gonna say I'll say 3. I'm gonna say 3.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Okay, cool.
Nice.
And then are we done with summer?
Yes, we are done with summer.
Holy shit. Okay, cool. I think that is it, right? Because I remember last time we did one card into the new season.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and watching us play The Quiet Year. Adam will be joining us again next week as we continue into fall and eventually into the cold, cold depths of winter. But Adam, as always, thank you so much for joining us. These episodes have been just an absolute blast. So much fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Great, as always. And I look forward to seeing where our techno dystopia goes next. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a happy dystopia.
Yeah.